What's up, gamers? Welcome to Twilight Solo RPG. My name is Haru, and we're picking up from last we left off in Jeweler's Sanctum. But before we continue to the gameplay, I wanted to talk about this map. Um, I was a little bit flustered, I was kind of all over the place when we were in this area because I was trying to manage the rest, the count, the discount here. I was trying to manage it in a way that we can safely rest. And in sort of alongside that chaos, I had kind of misunderstood that because I was going off of memory. I knew there were 2 oil flasks in the backpack, but there's also a crowbar, a rope, 170 gold pieces, and a clan medallion. However, I failed to remember that the backpack was actually at the bottom of the pool. It's a little bit too late. We took spoiling rations and 2 oil flasks with us. So we're going to add the rest of the loot to our pack, or to our loot. Um, and let's see. Crowbar, rope, 170 GP, clan medallion. And I believe I did say that it was a dwarf at the bottom of the pool that was slightly disintegrated. I should have like narratively explained that Braum being a dwarf also like felt a bit of an emotion inside him seeing a fellow dwarf, and he's going to kneel by the waterside, and Larachelle is going to kneel by the waterside, and they join hands and they say a prayer, a little prayer for the dwarf. Um, we're gonna add that to the narrative, and then we'll continue where we left off, which is meeting the Tarantella, or the Hairy Guardian, as it says here. So we were able to find the secret hinge. Well, Braum was able to find a secret um, uh, pathway, and we entered to this area 14 over here. That is this blown up. Yeah, so there is a tarantella in this room. I've already spoiled it in the last recording, so I'm not gonna undo that anymore and pretend that I did not do that. So they walk through here. They kind of squeeze through the little space in the wall over there, and they hear a humming, sort of cheerful tune. And it gets louder and louder as they enter to this room. They quickly, wave their torch around. They take a look at their surroundings. They see kind of like pits on the floor. They see a lot of cobwebs, webs around, and on top of that, they see like a little statue of a little girl with a flute, at least on this side. It's the closest area. And then there's a door. They see that and they don't see much ahead, but they're very wary because of the humming tune that they hear. Um, Braum, being the long lived dwarf that he is, he recognizes this very old tune. It's a very famous song that's been sung in a lot of taverns. It goes by California girls, we're undeniable. I'm a riot. Um, I'm a riot for saying I'm a riot. Um, I'm kidding. I was thinking of a cheerful tune, and that was the first tune that came up to my head. Yeah. Anyway, they hear this song. Brom hears the song. And he starts humming back. He starts humming alongside this tune, and he's happy to hear it because it's a very old song, as old people might do, and they hear their song from back in the day, you know, um, and it's going to summon this large spider that is like um, coming out of maybe crawling from this area to meet the party who is over here, like bunched up over here. And Brom almost drops his mouth, but as soon as Brom stops humming, Isildia picks up on the situation and starts humming alongside the spider um, uh, to keep its tune happy. And Larishel picks up on Isildia doing the same thing, and they're going to hum to the tune as well. And Brahm kind of snaps out from his shock of seeing the large spider, and he's going to start humming the same tune again. Maddox is like, "What the heck is going on?" And then he sees the spider. Ev is also like, "What the heck is going on?" And then sees the spider, and then like they're in shock. So Isildia, Larishel, and Brahm are probably the ones who are first to see the spider coming up to them. And Isildia speaks to the spider. Hello, Mr. Spider. Can it talk? Actually, yeah, well, it's humming, so it probably can. Um, he's really bored to death. He's hungry and cannot leave. He attacks immediately in order to eat. However, um, uh, it makes the tarantella singing or playing music makes the tarantella friendly for 1d6 turns. One turn. There goes that. Yeah. So it was friendly, and then Azilia breaks the song by saying, "Hello, Spider. How are you?" And then the tarantella becomes hostile. um, it smells the rotting rations in the party's belongings, and it just sends itself into a frenzy that way. Um, uh, so yeah, we're just gonna, as they say in 5e, roll for initiative. Um, let's see. What do I need? Um, how many attacks does the Tarantella have? One. There's poison. What is this? Those affected dancing? Those affected suffer. Viewers of one affected by the poison must save versus spells or begin dancing in the same fashion for as long as the poisoned victim. What the heck? Okay, I didn't I read that from here and going up, but maybe I should have like been a normal person and read it going down. Poison, save versus poison, or dance for 2d6 turns, suffering from painful jerking spasms that resemble a macabre dance. Onlookers, viewers of one affected by the poison must save versus spells, or begin dancing in the same fashion. This is going to be very interesting. Dancing characters 2 and 6 chance every round of falling into a random pit. Um, falling into the pit, 1d6 falling damage, 1d6 damage from spikes, plus 1d6 damage from spikes. Hmm. Okay, so we're going to end up fighting this thing. Let's go back to um the we sacrifice our last pouch of rations, and the tarantella is eating that pouch of rations. And while it's doing that, Isildia is going to grab all the. She has 3 oil flasks in her possession, and she's gonna grab all of them, and she's gonna make like a Molotov out of all those oil flasks, and she's gonna, with her back turned to the spider while everyone else is watching close, she's going to light the oil flasks, making this uh, makeshift Molotov, and she is going to um, um throw it one at a time at at the floor in front of the tarantella. It's gonna do uh, 1d8 of damage. It takes 5. Let's keep track. Um, -5. That takes a turn. -5 HP to the tarantella. And everyone is going to brandish their swords. Um, Larachelle notices this and she does the same thing. She prepares the 3 oil flasks in her possession. She's going to prepare Molotov attacks to it too, and it's going to back the spider is going to keep backing off. Uh, like uh, it's going to back off after that first Molotov, and it's going to scream. It's going to get angry. It's going to get hostile. And Isildia will throw another Molotov at it, and it deals 1 damage. How much HP does this have? 18. Okay, so it has 18 damage, and this is all out of order, by the way. Shoot, if we do this, yeah, everyone's gonna have a -1 to their rolls because they are not able to rest. Um, uh, Isildia is gonna throw that last Molotov, and it backs off to this area. It deals another 1 damage. But by that time, Larshell is not. Um, hmm. Well, no, Larshell may have done the same, but she's going to distribute that um those makeshift Molotovs to the rest of the party, and they're all gonna brandish their swords. They're going to attack this thing. They're going to surround it and attack it from here. Like, let's say the spider is here. Everyone is going to surround it. There, they're going to surround the spider like so. And we're going to roll for a fight. We are going to take the initiative, ignore the encounter sequence, and we're going to stab at this spider. Larachelle is going to take a swipe at it, and she misses. Ev is going to try. Oh shoot. Ev is going to equip her sword, and shoot it. Well, no, slash at it for melee. She misses. That would have been a good roll though. And then Kiris is going to missiles first. Missiles should have gone first. Kiris is going to shoot at it with the bow. Rolls nat 20 with the 6 damage, and I'm going to Because Curious rolled a nat 20 and a nat 6, I'm gonna explode this dice. So another 2 points of damage. Curious deals 8 damage total, not 18. It has a total of 18. Hold on. 7. So it's looking pretty beat up. Curious hit it. Like say he hit the bow and it hit its eye. And then Brahm is gonna roll to hit. 16, and it hits one. He hits for 1 damage, and then Maddox with his two-handed sword going last is going last is going to swipe at it. 18, it hits, but he deals 10 damage to this thing. He cuts it in half with his two-handed sword, and it never got the chance to fight us back because we took that initiative because of Isolia's quick thinking with the Molotov. They are out of food, but that's okay. And then, oh no, I forgot. They're supposed to have -1 on all their rolls because of they didn't take rest. Oh no. Let's give the uh let's give the spider like another 2 HP of shoot, this might be the death of the party though. You know what? Let's just You know what else I forgot? Wandering encounters. I'm so frustrated. Oh, my perfectionism. It's okay. It's okay. Haru, it's okay. All right. We defeated the Tarantella. It's done. Move on. Don't be a perfectionist. You know, it's gonna make your anxiety worse. Haru. So, yeah. We are gonna move forward with that. We're gonna accept that people make mistakes, and we have defeated the Tarantella by surprise with cunning and tactics, pack tactics, and we are gonna move forward with that. So the Tarantella gets cut in half by Maddox's epic two-handed sword attack, and we will loot the place. So we kill the Tarantella, and be kind to yourself, Haru. Kind to yourself. And okay. I'm gonna take like 2 minutes to like really get rid of this frustration that I have for forgetting things. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I did a little pacing. And so we're going to loot the spider. We got that 100 gold piece worth of silver collar. And we're going to this room to the east here. They're going to listen for noise. And I have said this before, but these two have to roll a 1 or 2 in order to hear something. They have to roll 1s in order to hear something. No, 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 no. So they try to hear for things, but they don't really. And they open the door slowly. They are greeted by like a jewelry shop. The ceiling glows with continual light. They don't need a torch in this room. There's a heap of coal beside a small forge. There's jeweler's tools, tongs, pliers, files arranged on the wall racks. There's a workbench with a crystal crucible. So, silver collar for the tarantella. Crystal crucible. 2 rings. 1000 GP each. And small gold ingot. 40 gold each. No, sorry, not 10 small. 3 small gold ingots, 5 silver ingot, 4 GP each, 2 platinum ingot. Am I spelling ingot right? Yeah. Each. Still feels bad, man. Anyway, they loot the area, but before they actually put it into their packs and everything, Curious is gonna inspect everything. He's going to take a turn. Well, no, they're going to rest after that fight with the Tarantella, and then they're going to take a turn to listen and move to the Area 15, and then they're going to take a turn to look through the area. But before they put everything, all the loot into their backpack, Curious is going to take a turn to make sure that everything is trapless. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's gonna check them 5 times. And on a 1, he will. I mean, do I have to do this? I know that there's no trap. Yeah, he's gonna check. Succeed, succeed, fail, fail, succeed, fail, fail. So he actually investigates everything and makes sure that everything is safe. Once he is cleared of that, I believe he rolled 3 successes out of a 5. So that's more than half. Everything is safely packed away in everyone's backpacks. And they are going to take another rest in this area. Another 2 hours have passed by, and they've been in this room for 8 hours. They're going to keep. They're going to keep trucking along. They're gonna take another turn to leave this area and go through here. In this area, I believe I have a map of this. Yeah, in this area number 16, the ceiling glows with continual light. They don't need another torch. There are pedal operated machines for grinding, cutting, and polishing stone. On the workbench here, there's 37 uncut gems. Actually, they're going to take a turn to listen. They took a turn to move back into Area 14. They're taking a listen at the door. But we kind of already know there's nothing there, and they're gonna take a turn to move into the room. They're gonna take a turn to look at everything, and they're going to loot. They receive 37 uncut gems worth 80 GP each. Small iron key. And they're actually going to find 7 giant centipedes in this area. So let's prepare that. They thought they were safe. They are not. I thought they were safe. Where's that blank? I need a blank. Dear. Here we go. We're gonna fight centipedes. We can't talk our way out of this. We're out of rations. They're hungry. We're hungry. Would you eat a giant centipede? Question mark. Okay, so our party is as such. And there's 7 centipedes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I can't count, that's 7. Okay. We're going to ignore the distance rule because I have laid this out as such. And missiles first. So Ev is going to use her longbow to hit G and misses. Kyrus is going to try to hit A. He hits with 3 damage, effectively killing that centipede. And Isildia is going to throw a dagger at G. 11, does that hit? Plus, he doesn't have a dexterity. Oh, I have to look for the centipede stat block. There we go, 10 hits. And that's an 11, so it hits. She is dead, and then Larshell is gonna move forward. Larshell is gonna hit at F. Oops. She hits for 5 damage, killing that one effectively. Braum is going to hit this letter E. 11, that hits, kills that. And then Maddox is going to hit C for 10. He misses. And then the centipedes are going to hit. They have sick for 10 days. Bite is a poison. So these 2 and this. Let's see. Maddox has to save against poison. His poison save. He has to roll above 14. Twice. He fails. He passes. He is for 10 days. He's gonna be sick for 10 days. He's gonna go down. He's incapacitated for the rest of the fight. And then Brahm is also going to save versus poison. I believe his stat. He just needs a 10. And he passes, so does that deal damage? 1 times bite? No. 1 means they attack once. Okay. Roll for initiative. I didn't do that earlier. Shame on me. This is the monsters. This is the party. The monsters go first. They are gonna move forward and this way. Yeah, he's out. This way. And this is gonna attack Brahm. Brahm has to save versus 10. And he fails. Brahm is out of the fight. Larishel needs to save against 14. She passes barely, 15, by rolling a 15. And then Kiris needs to pass with a 13. He is out of the running also. Only the girls are left. So the girls are going to fight. Oh dear. Let's see. Ev is going to shoot an arrow at C. 10 hits with a 3. Right, yeah. With a 3 damage. C dies. Zildia is gonna throw. You know what? She should have been using a D4 because she only has a dagger. 3. She misses. And then Larishel is gonna hit D. But Larishel has no strength. So she misses. Yeah, and the girls have to what's it called? Yeah, B is gonna attack Zildia. Zildia has to save versus 13. She makes a nat 20, she's okay. Larishel has to save against 14. And she fails, she's out of the fight. It's up to Ev, and they're not necessarily out of the fight, but they're sick. Maybe I should have clarified that. Anyway, Zilia is going to use a dagger against this centipede that is very close, and she's going to include her strength to this roll. Rolls an 8 plus 2. She kills it. And then Ev is going to shoot her bow at D. That's a 6, not a 9. But she misses. D is going to attack Ev. Ev is going to... Wow, they're all sick. Ev is going to need to pass a 14. She is sick. And now it's up to Azilia. Azilia, great leader, please. 9, she passes, and she kills it. Okay. Boy, that's rough. Only Isildia is not sick, so they take their chances. They're going to leave the area. Well, no, they're sick. So let's make it so that they are half movement speed. So they're gonna take more turns to leave the area. They're already very hungry. Where's my pen? Okay, so that took a couple of turns. They're going to rest and need twice the resting time in order to move forward. They still have a couple ways to go, a couple rooms to check, but they have effectively looted 16. Let's make note of that. They go back to 14. And they are going to take twice as much effort to move from place to place. They're going to go to this room, 17. Do I have a blown up map of that? There's 17 over there. I think I do. Oh, I do. There, 17. Here is the description. There is an enchantment workshops. So the ceiling glows with continual light. Murals depict jewels being infused with lunar and solar emanations. Silver magic circle inlaid on the floor. There's 2 living statues of muscular men armed with great swords. A voice booms out of the 2 statues, shows the seal of approval, and the party is very. I have to hurry. I'm losing concentration. The party, they are in this area. There's 2 statues that boom, and let's say that Isildia and La Rochelle gets very surprised and they fall down, and on one of them, they're surprised by the voice that booms. They fall down, and the medallion that they have both medallions successfully, so they're able to it falls down from one of their pockets, and accidentally falls down on from one of their pockets. I know that's pretty convenient, but we're going to kind of speed run for the rest of this because I'm really tired. And the 2 statues relax. In here, they find a tome of looping enchantments, a ruby ring of fire resistance, and a paper envelope labeled "For my grandson Jessim." For my grandson. And they search the room, they find that it took twice as much time, and another hour passes by. They move, where's the map? They move from 17 back here, and they reach 13, room area 13. I know I'm being quite the sloppy now. party moves to 13. In here, there are piles of corroded metals, rod sheets, and flakes. There's a small iron casket locked, chained to the floor, middle of a circle of glowing purple salt. It suppresses all magic inside. There's a note that reading, Moreland hands off. They don't work while within the circle. Do they remove as usual, the party listens at the door. They'll make their checks. They examine the room, and they loot. They loot the area, and they are sure not to. They don't equip anything. They just loot the area. They put it in their bags. Isildia keeps this envelope closely. That this envelope that says for my grandson Jessam. And then they're going to move again to this area over here. They're going to take a listen. No, they're going to rest. They need twice as much rest because most of them are poisoned. They're in this hallway. They have torches. And they are going to, after their rest, they take another turn to listen at the door and enter the room, and they're going to search. In this room, what do they find? Here's tapestries of astrological diagrams, floral embroidered chair, wooden table carved with spider-like legs, a bone flute, a glove of curse detection, a tome of black and white, doom. Okay, and that's it. They're going to take the next 2 hours to leave the area, resting in between, and on the 12th hour. They're very hungry. They have rested, but they don't have any rations left. They backtrack, taking their turns. They move here. They remember how to leave this area. They've expended all their torches. By doing so, it takes them another hour. I didn't realize it would take so long, and they're at half movement speed. And on the 13th hour, they knock on the door here, and Jessam lets them out. Whew. We're going to do a little downtime session to get organized, to track the torches, to track all of this, and then we're going to close out chapter 1. This has been a very long session for me, even though I cut the recording into like as a bit of like 30 minutes each-ish. And thank you so much for listening if you got this far. I know I got sloppy at the end there. Please forgive me. I think next time I'm going to take shorter breaks. Take longer recordings but less breaks because as the hours passed by, I kind of lost my concentration there. And also, I should go do my exercises. But thank you so much for listening if you got this far. It is currently almost 8 in the morning now, and I should get to bed. Yeah, thank you so much. See you in the next one. Bye.